What's up, Plinko fam? I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Michael.
And today we are in my sandbox park called Wild Dominion Adventure Park. This is the final park tour, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I've been working really hard on it for a few months, and this is probably going to be the last sandbox park, at least for a while. So I really wanted to share this with you all, and yeah, so you all can see what I've been working on.
So is there anything you want to talk about or share before we get started with the tour?
Well, I'll just say that this park, I worked really hard to try to make it African sort of theme as much as we can in Planet Coaster, where there is no African stuff. But I divided the park up with a couple of different areas, but probably the most distinctive area is going to be that Arabian Moroccan area, which is kind of over on the left side. Over here on the right side is kind of more family friendly. And yeah, I took some inspiration from Busch Gardens, and a little bit from Animal Kingdom, but you know, it's not supposed to be a recreation of those parks.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the tour.
All right, so this is the ticket gate area. So I wanted to start here just so you can see what the actual entrance is. This is not the spawn point, though. This would be where the cars would come in from wherever they're coming from. So I just made this little tiny building, and the two sides have the cashier on them.
That's an awesome sign.
Thank you. Yeah, it took me a long time to come up with something that I thought fit with the park.
All right, so let's get through here and hopefully not hop on a car. So Wild Dominion welcomes you. So I like how you enter, you see the first drop right there for Barbarian. So I think that's a pretty cool look.
Yeah, and Barbarian is it's kind of more of a family-friendly style coaster, but I'm really proud of it. I really love all of the coasters in the park, and I hope you all enjoy them.
Gosh, these views right here are awesome.
Yeah.
Like that inversion right there, it looks like, before you go down the hill. And I mean, that view right there, I mean, aside from the lights,
yeah,
you can see the top of one of the buildings. You can see like 3 different loops, basically 4 different loops or something on that invert coaster. And then you can see the first drop. I just love how those Intamin coasters look in the background, those wing coasters. They just look majestic on the background of the park.
Thank you. Yeah, so that coaster I'd like that to be the last coaster that we go on, but that's basically going to be the showstopper coaster for the park.
I agree. And I mean, this is really cool views right here. This has been added. You added some extra little bits here since I last saw what you've been working on. So I think that's
the bushes?
Yeah, the bushes, and then kind of that whole area with that coaster.
Oh, you've seen that?
I don't think I've seen that fully completed like that. Like this view, at least.
Okay,
this is
maybe not from this view, I guess.
But yeah, if you want to stay at the hotel...
Solace Suites.
I was going to say Solace, but Solace. There we go.
Whatever.
No, you're probably right. I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff. But then we got the wonderful sign again, Wild Dominion Adventure Park.
Wait, go back to the left real quick, because I have a little coffee shop.
Oh. Yeah.
And this coffee shop was, it wasn't originally supposed to be here, but...
what's going on there?
I had to move it. What do you mean, what's going on there?
The flashing. Oh, that's kind of cool, though. You zoom in and it's not. It's just that fighting for...
Oh, yeah. But I thought it worked best up here at the front. So, because you know when you go to like a hotel and they have like a little coffee shop or a little breakfast area, so...
Nice. Little custom little tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got put some words in there, authentic, fresh...
African coffee.
Yeah, self-serve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it. Yeah, it looks good.
Thanks.
Very yellow.
Yes. Very yellow.
That looks good though. No, I like this entrance right here.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I like how you did kind of the ticket booths over here, and then same thing on that side. So you just kind of had to repeated it on each side, which is nice. And then I think it was it this view? Yeah, where you can see the kind of the first drop on that invert. Looks really good. Oh, so we're walking through people, and then I like how you've got the gates here to where at night they just pulled them down and they, in theory, lock in place.
Yeah,
you got the little,
it's supposed to be.
Little turnstiles.
Those are, you created those. I got those from workshop from you.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, we got the, what's he doing?
Dancing, I guess.
He's working. We just looked at the time where he turned his booty around and started jumping up and down. Now
you keep zooming in and it's like really just like
throwing you off.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'll try not to do that, but I like zooming in on this camera.
Yeah, I mean you can. You can. It's just
what I was zooming in on is the view that you get of the dive coaster here from the entrance. And we're definitely gonna obviously look at everything from an aerial view as well. But I think with how immersive Jasmine made this, we really need to be able to see it from the guest perspective. And so, where do you want to head to first?
I don't know. I mean, we could go to the right or could go straight. I'm not sure. Where do you want to go?
We'll go up here to the drop zone and cafe area, and then we'll head around there to the right and kind of loop back around.
Okay.
But I know this was one of the first things you made in the park, this cafe.
Yeah, so this is probably maybe the only modern looking building inside the park.
Yeah. Another self-serve. It's like we're in McDonald's.
Yeah.
So you got the little stools with people sitting up there. Like it. All right. Then you got the Ferris wheel there. You got you put a lot of flight rides here in the entrance, and I remember you spent a lot of time trying to make sure they all work properly, and like this drop zone area, like those towers are really, really cool.
Yeah, I did get some feedback from Tall Guy Gaming and I think my Bridgman, and they said that they didn't think that those were very realistic, but it was very hard for me to try to put something else. Like, I just felt like there needed to be some other theming other than just placing those drop towers there. Yeah. So in how I built them, everything is attached, so I couldn't just delete one. I would have to delete all of it plus the fencing. So I decided to keep those. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, oh, that's cool. Seeing the going up the lift hill right there. Yeah, and I mean, like you definitely made some approaches in this park, like doing realism and stuff, but then you also did some stuff that's like, it doesn't have to be the most realistic, you know?
I am not a realistic player, so yeah, I'm just not going to be.
Yeah. So we got burgers and shakes. So what's this called?
It's called cloves, even though there's no garlic cloves with burgers or with shakes, but I thought it kind of sounded cool.
Is there anything this way, or did we already see everything there?
If you keep going, that's where the swing ride is.
Oh, the frisbee.
Is that what it's called?
Well, it's called a sundial in the game, but I think these are called frisbees in real life.
But I like the station, so can you go up in there?
Yeah.
Real quick?
And then we'll look at everything from above, too.
I did get this
nice little seat
design from, like, with this platform and everything from Nerd Chacho. He kind of has his is obviously better than mine, but but I got the idea of the raised platform from him. So yeah, this is the Wild Safari ride.
Yeah, so this is just the queue, which is nice, although nobody ever rides flat rides in this game, so.
No, but when I was building the park, this was the very first thing that I put in, so that line was full when there was nothing else in the park. So.
Well, I like how secluded it feels, and then I like this little kind of exit area where you got a seating area and stuff like that. Yeah. You can sit down in some shade for a little bit.
And those aren't windows. I mean, you could jump through there and, get killed, but...
Yeah. That's part of the fun of it.
That is part of the fun.
Yeah. Nice. So you got another self-serve. So let's you want to go on Barbarian first?
Sure, I think that's a good starting point.
All right. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to walk up the exit, because if we walk up the entrance, we'll be hitting everybody on the way. So Barbarian.
And these letters are, all the letters I use are from the workshop. Sorry, I don't know who made them. I'm sure most of them are from Mavs Fam, but I know some of them aren't. But
Ooh, I like this little area here.
I know, I do too. It's like shaded and got the coaster coming, and I like it.
Yeah, people actually sit there, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got 2 different color.
Huh.
I think you probably accidentally did that.
Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah.
That's not
Don't
bad.
point out my flaws.
I'm sorry.
I'll fix that before.
It's not a bad flaw. Alright, so I don't want to talk to Neil. Is that Neil? Did it say Neil Armstrong?
What? Where?
Hold on, I'm trying to find the name of the person I clicked on. Was that?
I don't know who you clicked on.
May have been this one. No.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. But look at this station. This is cool. Very different and unique.
Thank you.
I like the amount of cross beams and stuff that you have. So looking at these stats, yeah, G-forces look good. Biggest drop 28 meters. You gotta change that to feet.
Excuse me.
Just get airtime count 3. So we'll talk to you after Barbarian. Alright, so that was Barbarian, and I really love the detail that you kind of added to this as your park kind of grew, because you didn't really, all these buildings and stuff, it didn't used to be there.
Yeah. It really was just the wooden coaster at first, and then I was thinking, like, how do I make this cool? Like, how do I make this special? Because I really wanted each coaster to be special, and this one, once I put in these little wooden tunnels, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, that took me a while to do.
Yeah.
And then, from there I was like, okay, I need to add like more stuff to this. So
I like this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good ride, good coaster. It's I think you did a good job with it. I mean, it's pretty quick around this first turn, but I think you banked it a lot, which is good. But yeah, it looks really, really good. Good first drop. Good, I would say, intermediate coaster.
Yeah.
A little bit taller than like family style coaster, but I think you did a great job with it. And so now as we kind of look at an overhead view of what we've seen so far, and I just love the view that we saw before here a second ago too, where it's like you're looking at the coaster, but in the background you see those 2 drop towers.
Yeah.
So I understand what they're saying about the stuff being kind of larger there, but I do think that adds to it, and how you put some of the ivy and stuff like that.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What was there? what was the most frustrating or tough part about building this first area that we looked at? Was there anything or?
Honestly, I feel like doing a main plaza is always really hard because you don't know what you're gonna do yet. And so, like, I built that fountain because I was like, okay. But then after that, I was like, well, what do I do now? I tend to build stuff in squares, and it's not necessarily how theme parks are laid out, but that's just how I am. I like things to be symmetrical. And so that was the hardest thing.
Yeah, and so you've got these placed all around the park, which is nice. Did you know elephant tusks are actually teeth? So explain that.
Yeah, so I put these little info boards. This is the security office. I put these little info boards around the coasters. There should be one for each coaster. And this here is like a little access point for employees only. I did have some stuff there, and it just wasn't working out. So I thought it would be better to have just a staff only sort of area.
Yep. So I'll go back to this so you can explain a little more. Elephant tusks are actually teeth.
They are actually teeth, and also elephants are my favorite animal. So.
Why are elephants your favorite animal?
Well, I like fat animals, and also, that's not the only reason, but elephants, why are you laughing? Elephants are really, really smart, and they're one of the only animals that can recognize their reflection in a mirror, or
they're really smart.
In a reflection, so, and they have memories.
Little make-do play set. Did you get this off the workshop, or did you make this?
I did. No, I got this off the workshop and scrolled down for a second, because I say who it is. It's from Jan and...
Web gaming.
Web gaming. So I can't remember who did what, so Corey. Sorry guys.
It's been a bit since we've talked to Corey.
I know. We need to check up on him, see how he's doing.
Yeah. And then you've got this. Now I know you were originally going to expand through there.
Yeah.
And then I think you got to a point where you're like, oh, the park's big enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got a little spot. But I like the idea kind of with this building. It looks a little more modern.
Yeah.
But it also looks to try to almost be energy efficient, if that makes sense.
So essentially the gray part is supposed to be like the office building for this building, which is the conservation center. Okay. So I just thought this, we can't talk about Africa without talking about conservation and the issues that are in Africa. You know, as far as the wildlife, there's a lot of poaching that goes on. And you can actually visit this website, awf.org, and they have a lot of information about conservation efforts and how you can help. And so I just wanted to dedicate this park to that because I just feel like it's so important. And so I thought that's partly why I put those info boards in the park, too, because they also have information about... I think a couple of them have information about endangered species and things like that. So
yeah, this is a very majestic building.
Yeah. Now this building took me a long time to do.
I bet. I mean, look at the roof and everything. It's funny because I was up here thinking that was like the normal height, and then I looked down and I'm like, no, everybody's so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really cool though. So as we kind of look at the building and there we go. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, we'll see more of that. Oh, sorry.
Can you go back in there really quick? So if you go into that sign, that's supposed to be the theater, and so you could watch like a little informational video. Just don't look at the floor because it's grass.
Yeah, well, it could be trying to preserve nature, so you're keeping some grass in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. And so now you head out here. You got another little flat ride. You got a nice little plaza here. Is that custom fencing?
Yeah, and I forgot to put a fountain in there. There's supposed to be a fountain in there, but there isn't one.
Yeah, so that looks really cool. We'll go to that in a second.
We'll call that fountain a reflection pool. Ooh. That's what we'll call it.
The wild safari. So do you want to take a full ride on the safari, or do we just want to kind of travel around it?
We can travel around it, but I think we need to travel on it.
Okay.
To get the full effect.
Okay. And you got a little restaurant and bar here.
Yes.
Oh, you got the different what you can buy. Yeah.
That guy's supposed to be fixing something, so I do need to add that because it looks like he's fixing the wall. But
yeah. That looks good though. All right, so now leopards crouch. African leopard status is threatening. Wow, I can't speak.
Threatened
Is a threatened population. So 700,000. There's only 700,000 left.
Yep.
I always wonder how they get those actual numbers. I mean,
I don't know.
It's got to be just purely estimates.
But there are different kinds of leopards. So that one, the African leopard, is the one that is threatened.
It's so interesting how it's not actually connected.
I know. Honestly, I tried to fix it and it didn't work, so I just left it like that because I couldn't make anything like.
Yeah, they're still able to walk there. So
yeah. So. Yeah.
And I know originally this was in a different part of the park, so you kind of had to move everything. Mm-hmm. So we got the dive coaster called Leopard's Crouch.
This was originally called Tigress. And then I was like, oh, dang it. Because Busch Gardens has a coaster called Tigress.
Yeah, it's not the same coaster, though, so it would have been fine.
No, but I just didn't want to have the same name. So.
All right, we'll talk to you afterwards. So that was Leopard's Crouch. I almost said Chase, but no, that would Cheetah Chase should be a name of one. But yeah, so I think that was really good. I think it was a smooth coaster, and one thing with each park that you build is your coasters get better and better. And it's funny, I said, oh, that kind of reminds me of Valraven, and you're like, what's that? Because this first part is very, not necessarily, it's the elements are very similar to what Valraven does at Cedar Point. But yeah, I think you did a really good job with this.
Yeah, I just need to add some rocks where the park goes underground because I didn't do that. But that's the only thing I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so between this one and the wooden coaster, which one do you personally like more?
I definitely like the wooden coaster better. Can we go out the exit also? Because there's a building back there.
Okay, sorry.
Michael just skips things. He just skips stuff. It's so frustrating.
I don't skip nothing. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so this is like a little store, and it's supposed to be kind of like a hangout place. But there's, I think I put in like a Hat's Fantastic in here. There's like bathroom, that's a bathroom, and then I put in a spot where they could donate and save the big cats.
Yeah. So. We like big cats. I wish I could have a pet tiger for like a baby tiger cub. Or lion. Oh, that'd just be the cutest thing.
They don't stay little forever.
I know, but they would love me. They wouldn't hurt me
if you were the owner.
Yeah, watch.
So you say.
Watch lion and tiger videos all the time. Too much, according to Jasmine. So the Wild Safari. I think since we're here, would be a good time to do this right now, don't you think?
Yeah.
And then this was basically going to finish out the right half of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the wild safari. All right, so
I thought you didn't want to ride it.
well, I thought you said you wanted to ride it.
No. I don't need to ride it, but I just mean we'd be on the track.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. My fault. I thought you said you want to ride it to get the full experience.
Well, I just meant like making sure we stayed on the track.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. And so I know you did the terrain paint to kind of signify where the kind of show that the grass is worn because the cars are constantly driving over this part. So I think that's really cool how you kind of hid in the ground. And
there's some spots like that.
I mean, for the most part, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was
right there. It looks really good.
Yeah, it was pretty tough trying to make it look, like they're actually driving on the grass and not the track.
Because that'd be terrifying to be that close to hippos without any protective fence. I mean, look at those things. That's your second favorite animal.
But that's how it is at Animal Kingdom. You go on the safari and the rhino's just walking in front of your car.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The rhino, our car at Animal Kingdom had to wait like an extra minute or two because there's a rhino
not moving.
That was just in the front of the car. And
just standing there, just chilling.
Although I will say they don't have hippos right there. Ooh, I do wish they gave us more animatronics for animals in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I would have loved for this to be, have giraffes and zebras and, that would be ideal. But we don't have that, so I had to work with what we have.
Yeah. So then here's the other stop. So it's kind of used as a transport ride, even more so than the full length safari. So as we can kind of see as we're heading back now. But yeah, I think you did a really good job with this. I like how you placed the fencing around as well.
Yeah, because that beyond the fence is supposed to be the real wildlife. Yeah.
The real wildlife.
The real wildlife.
With no trees.
With no
But this map has no trees to begin with, so.
Yeah, so.
I think this actually is the largest map you could play in the game. Strangely enough.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it just doesn't look like it because there's no elevation change or anything to it, so it's really flat. Yeah. I think the deciduous is the second largest. I could be wrong though. I know Poops It Out did something where he basically showed the dimensions of each. But
I thought the what's the other one?
Alpine's really big.
Yeah, I thought that one was the biggest one.
Or maybe
I'm not sure though.
Basically, one of these, I forget which one, but one of them is a square, and a square is always going to give you a larger area than a rectangle with equivalent dimensions. And so since one of them is a square, it's slightly bigger in terms of space. But yeah, enough about that. So we got a little restroom area, and that's the food area that takes you over here to the bar with the good views of the coaster. So we have finished this right side of the park. Anything else to talk about over here?
I don't think so.
All right, so we had two coasters. You had the whole conservation area over there. And if we head back down here, we can now go to Lion's Roar.
Lion's Roar.
So you got another food place in there. And I like how you put up the signs a little bit. So, shop? Or how?
Shop.
Okay.
It's just spelled kind of different, but yeah, it's a shop.
Yeah, vending machine, balloons, postcards, and candy. Yeah, I like the building style you chose here. And the views you get kind of right there of Lion's Roar is awesome. Oh, I went to the wrong spot. Here we go. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the, so there's the cafe.
Yeah. It's behind the cafe.
Here's the little plaza.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Lion status vulnerable. Population's only 20,000. I mean, it's got that many less than the leopards.
Yeah.
Only 20,000.
Isn't that
so
crazy?
Sad.
Yeah.
Suspended invert.
And also tried to make, shade, because this is supposed to be, in a really hot environment. So
look at you backstage.
You know, I tried. I put a little backstage behind the cafe too.
Yeah, well, we're gonna look at that because
Yeah.
I remember that. So here's the station. Once again, really good job with the beams and the whole kind of setup. And the only thing I wish they would do in game, and this is nothing on you, it's more just on the game, is they don't put like any supports.
Yeah.
For this, like there should be some kind of elevated support. So it's like
Yeah,
this thing's just floating here.
That is weird. I mean, I never noticed that, but now that I see it, yeah, that is weird.
No, that's it. That's nothing against you. He's like with something we wouldn't think about doing, like adding the supports like that. So if we look at these stats, everything's good. Max speed 60 miles per hour. Biggest drop, so it's just about 100 feet. And we will chat afterwards.
So that was Lion's Roar. Michael, what did you think?
I love this part right here.
Yeah, me too.
That's really well done. No, I think it was really good. I think you packed in a ton of inversions over a quick period of time. Like it kind of, even though it's different, it kind of reminds me of the Batman clones in that like those are pretty short rides, but they really pack a punch because it's like every element is right after each other.
Yeah.
I think there was, it took like a different little direction somewhere right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think after that, everything was really smooth. And then, I mean, like I said, this whole concept right here just looks perfect. You got the double loops right there, but then you got the 0G roll going over the path.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
That was, I mean, I would say this coaster was probably the hardest one for me to make because I knew that I wanted there to be an inversion over the path, which was going to be the bridge to go to this other section. Mm-hmm. And I would say the only thing that's really missing is I think I ended up putting a brake run like right there.
Yeah.
But that was literally the only place I could put it. Mm-hmm. And so that might be the only thing that I'm not satisfied with this coaster. But I genuinely, like, I looked up like what kind of inversions this coaster has, how can I make this, and I think it looks perfect, you know, from this angle, but like actually riding it, I feel like it seems really fast, but it looks like the right speed to me from
I'd say maybe the one area is it looked like, let's see if because we got another one that should be. There we go. So it looks like, because I think you're right, where I think for the most part the speed's pretty good. Like I think that's good. I think right here it kind of jolts into that.
Yeah. Like
right there. So I think it maybe had a little bit too much speed, kind of cresting this right here.
Yeah.
But I mean, either way, I think it's a really good job. And so I know you said you wanted to look at the Arabian area. Was it at night, or like is this the correct time?
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. So I want to show Jasmine's little backstage.
Oh,
she's got a staff door.
I have a door.
Nice. Now we just need a door somewhere on the outside for the garbage truck.
They're gonna have to go a different way. Yeah.
No, that's really good. So this is like dusk. So
this is my favorite part of the park. I spent literally a month working on just this section.
She only spent like 2 days.
It was a month. It took me a long time. And then I changed the colors like 5 or 6 different times. It was all actually like blue, like electric blue. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, no, that's not working. So yeah, but I'm 100% happy with how this turned out. And have to give a shout out to Tall Guy Gaming because he told me, like, he looked at my whole park, and he was, giving me some feedback. And I had this Moroccan area, and it just wasn't. I mean, it didn't look like this. It looked a little sad. And he was just, giving me some tips on what to do. And yeah, so this came out really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree. And then nice little seating area here. That kind of gives me, like, I know it's Moroccan, but also gives me like Greek vibes. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we got the Pink Palace. What is the Pink Palace?
It's a restaurant.
Isn't that the name of the museum here in Memphis?
Yes. That's why I called it Pink Palace.
Okay.
And then I made a selfie zone. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the selfie zone.
Nice.
So if you go to the right, that's where the restaurant is, and the left is like a staff room.
Wait, where?
Or up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Up this little ramp, and then go to the right.
So that's staff room up there, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And then here, you go into the restaurant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks nice. You got the selfie zone. I like this. Like, it's like perfect for
a selfie.
Yeah, our human body right there. But
it's actually supposed to be an archway, but it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense for it to be an archway in the game because the people just run into the wall. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep, unless you use a 2-meter path or something. Like the Q path. So, did you know a blue racer is a type of constrictor? So, is a blue racer a snake?
Yes.
Okay. How'd you figure that out?
What?
That the blue racer is a type of snake? Because I doubt you knew that before.
I think I literally looked up blue snakes.
Oh, okay.
It's not an African snake, but there really weren't a whole lot of African snakes that would fit this, so.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say there aren't a whole lot of African snakes. I was about to be like,
no.
black mamba, green mamba.
No.
They all beg to differ.
Yeah, I didn't.
Pythons.
Black doesn't go with this.
No,
area.
I know. That's why, yeah. But so now here's the station. And before we actually do this, though, and ride the coaster, we'll pause that. Actually, let it go. I just want you to look at the building Jasmine made here. So that's phenomenal. And then you got that massive one up there.
Yeah.
That goes through it and below it.
This is partly what took me a month to do.
Yeah, that's really, really, really good. So that was Blue Racer, and I know you worked a lot on this coaster on trying to, because there were some moments I know initially that were too fast, and you're trying to work out the layout and had to remove some stuff. I mean, it's still a little bit quick at the end, but I think it's a lot better than when you initially did it. And so I think, because I know this is one you spent a while on.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously the scenery with everything is beautiful. Smooth inversions, nice turnaround there. The only thing I would say is I feel like, now I could be wrong, I feel like the clearance is too low on some of these.
With the rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They smack their heads. So
yeah, we can change that.
just adjust that just a little bit. But I do like how you get the view of this, or if you're coming this way, you get to see that with all those cool buildings in the background. It's really, really cool. Oh, that's like, well, I guess, because I'm doing an hour at a time.
Like, what are you doing?
Changing the, yeah. So now we're heading to
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, this is probably one of your favorite rides in the park, huh?
Yeah, so I had to have a girly ride because I'm me. So, I have the hiccups, guys. I'm sorry. But this ride took a long time as well. But I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I mean, look at this building. That's awesome.
Yeah, I originally was wanting it to be like a butterfly ride, and it is a butterfly ride, but yeah, I just wanted like a calming ride for families, and sorry, I have the hiccups.
Yeah, I think you did a great job, and you're okay with us just looking at it like this, right? Yeah, 'cause these rides can take just a little bit, but you know, you do such a good job with the foliage and kind of like you said, adding in the butterflies and the extra added effects. I think are perfect.
Yeah, and I originally wanted it to be inside, and that just did not work out well. But I think yeah, I think having it outside really was the best decision.
I mean, look at this is such a cool building with the roof and then the different building pieces, and then you got the dome up there, or the spire, whatever it's called. Actually, that's a dome. Yeah, that's really, really cool. Then you got a little drop. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of a drop.
I just remember when we were at Disney and we were riding Pirates of the Caribbean, and we hadn't even dropped yet, and we go in there and your mom's like screaming. And then the drop's like 10 feet.
But it seems
it does seem, I know, it's just
longer
funny.
because it's like pitch black at that part.
Yeah. And then so I think you did a really good job with this, because I know, especially with water rides, when you first put the water ride in, it's like, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And then you've just done a lot to really change the look of the area and make it all seem kind of natural and really well done.
Thank you.
There we go. Maddie's waterfall.
Yes, there's a lot of waterfalls just for Maddie.
Did you hear that, Maddie? Jasmine made waterfalls just for you.
Just for him.
All right, so let's get back to daytime. And so the last kind of area is with the coaster right there. So if we head this way, I know you said you wanted to do more around this, but you just kind of got to a point where you'd spent so long in this park.
Yeah, so sorry guys.
No, as I know you looked at putting flat rides in here or something.
Yeah,
and it didn't
work out.
Yeah, because you didn't want to take away from the sight line for that. But I do like this kind of covering and bridge is nice. Yep. So now it says, did you know a rhino rampage is a type of stampede? So is this the queue?
Yep. That's the
fast
queue.
Pass. We don't need no fast pass. Yeah, so here's the station building. Very unique. I know you changed colors on this a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so once again, kind of continuing with the same style that you've done in a lot of them. But I like how you've got the triangle, glass, more triangles there.
That's kind of part of the theme of the park. I have a lot of triangles. Ooh, excuse me. But this coaster I'm really, really proud of, and I feel like this might be the best coaster I've ever made.
Yeah, look at that. 853 excitement. You do not see that often.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will see you can't speak right now. We will talk to you after the coaster.
So that was Rampage. Michael, did you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was really, really good. That would be some insane ejector airtime right there. That would be awesome. And then you got this kind of, this Immelman, which is, it's interesting because usually these have a pretty steep kind of decline as they come out, but you kind of had it more gradual, which gives it a very unique look. And I think it looks really, or it was rode really well as well.
I had to make it very large in order for it to, for the G-forces to not be insane.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you did a really, really good job with this coaster. This definitely would be the one the park advertises the most.
Yeah.
And it's sitting at the back of the park. It just gives great sight lines from wherever you are in the park.
And this coaster is for the dads who bring their kids to this park, because I really wanted this park to be family friendly, but I also wanted it to be like where everybody enjoys it. So you got the nice calming boat ride, Metamorphosis for the ladies, and then you can come back here for all the coaster enthusiasts and the teenagers, and they can ride Rampage.
Yep. And then we got a nice, cool architectural design with this building.
This is kind of more modern too.
Yeah. It's funny how you said this is the only modern building in the park.
There are a couple modern things, but I have to say modern is that's like my signature, so.
Yeah. I think you did a good job with that. And I think the only other thing to see, so you can see a waterfall right there, which is nice. Mm-hmm. Let's see, and then I think just walking across this bridge.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you can, from the bridge, you see a really cool look of the invert. So if you were to rank the coasters in your park in terms of your favorite, not necessarily which ones you think might be like the guests like the most, but just in terms of your favorite coasters, how would you rank them?
I would say that's really hard because I really love all of them. But I would say Barbarian is my number one. Okay. I just think it turned out so well. And it's really unique with all the structures that I have. I probably would rank number 2 as Lion's Roar. And then I probably would say Rampage is number 3. And then the Blue Racer is number 4. And then the Dive Coaster is number 5, Leopard's Crouch.
Yeah, I think if I were to rank them in terms of... Now I'm gonna do 2 separate rankings with them. Which one I think basically which ones I think rode the best, and then which ones I think just overall like for example.
Can we turn this to nighttime also while we're doing the overview, so you can see all the lights?
Yeah. If this was a real park, my favorite would be Rampage, but I think the best coaster is Barbarian.
Really?
In terms of it's the smoothest of them all. All the coasters are smooth.
Okay.
But I think this is the best coaster in the park in terms of the one you did. I think honestly,
sorry, it's a little too dark. Can you turn a little bit?
Hold
sorry. There we go.
Like this?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Too dark. Oh yeah, you like this dusk kind of time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the second best coaster in terms of how... I think this is the second best in terms of smoothness, layout, just how the coaster was created.
Yeah.
I think that one's the second best one. Then I would say Rampage.
Okay.
And then probably Lion's Roar, and then the blue one.
Okay.
So I think Lion's Roar, like you talked about, maybe the speed a little bit, and there was that moment kind of in there where it just switches track a little bit. But yeah, I think this part's just awesome right here.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful look right there. Woo. So I don't think it's going too fast going through that loop.
No, it looks fine right there. Yeah. But yeah.
Yep. Any final kind of closing thoughts?
No.
Or anything to look at?
No, I think that's it. But I really appreciate you all watching. This park took a lot out of me, and that's why I probably won't be playing Planet Coaster for a while. But I'm not done. I'll still be playing every once in a while, and you'll see me on some park tours with Michael. But yeah, I think this is the best thing I've ever done. And I'm really proud of it, and I really appreciate you guys watching this.
I totally agree with what you said. And since we got a PC, she might play Planet Zoo some on the PC. So, but yeah, that's going well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.